Good morning. Come on in. Marcus, good to see you. How's it going? How's it going? That means good. You can have a seat. Kaden, good to see you. Anything new and exciting going on in your life? No? Cece, good to see you. How's it going? As you're getting seated, you'll see that there's a couple of pieces of paper on your desks. You can just ignore them for now. Today we're going to talk about chit-chat, which is also known as small talk. And then later in the lesson, we're going to use what we learned about chit-chat to have a conversation in what we call a meet and greet. But first, let's talk about chit-chat. Does anyone know what chit-chat is? Okay, well, chit-chat is the same as small talk. It's when you have a conversation they call it light. It means you're having a conversation about something that is polite with someone that you don't know very well. The verb is chat, and you could say chit is like a describing word for the verb, an adverb, but chitter is a word that we use to describe the sound. And so when people are chatting in the room, you'll hear that sound, chitter, 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 of people talking. So it's a happy, nice sound when people are talking and getting along. Now, what do you talk about with someone that you don't know? A polite thing to talk about is the weather. We love to talk about the weather in Canada because we have 4 seasons. It's spring, it's summer, fall, and winter, and it's always changing. And so it could be late in the spring and it's getting hot, and then all of a sudden we have snow, or it's very cold. And so we have that in common. The weather that I feel is the same as you feel. So I'm going to ask everyone to get into pairs and talk about the weather. A good way to start would be, nice day, isn't it? And then the other person can talk about whether they think it's a nice day, or if they want something different about the day. Maybe it's too wet. Maybe it's too hot. Okay, take a couple of minutes and chit-chat about the weather. Good. I heard some good chatter in the room. You could hear it too, some chat. That's what we call chatter. You're chit-chatting. Now, why do people chit-chat? There's 3 reasons, really. One is to be friendly. You might want to chat with someone, and maybe if you're friendly and they're friendly, you will make a friend, and that's always a good thing. The second is that sometimes you're in an awkward situation with someone, and by some chit-chat, you can make the situation seem less awkward. For example, if you're going on an airplane ride, a flight from here to Hong Kong, you're going to be sitting in that chair for at least 12 hours, and you've got someone next to you that you don't know. It would be better if you knew them a little bit. And so to say something like, how are you doing? And introduce yourself. My name is Bruce. Why are you going to Hong Kong? Things like that. Some simple things that you can say, and then you can begin to make things less awkward. And that way, if you need something from that person, you already know who they are. Things like that. The third reason is that it could lead to some meaningful conversation. For example, you were just talking about the weather, and over here, I heard Abby talking to Harris, and Harris said he wants to have more rain. And Abby said, why? And he said, because I'm growing a garden. Then he started to talk about the vegetables that are in his garden. And so now it's not just a simple conversation about the weather. He's explaining some ideas about gardening and helping Abby learn something. And so by starting with chit-chat, you can actually have a good conversation with someone and have something that you'll remember afterwards too. So those are the 3 reasons. Now, I'm going to ask you to look at your Appendix A. This is a page that I put on your desk. This goes through some good ways to start a chit-chat. I already said, nice day, isn't it? That would be to start a conversation about the weather. The next one, long time no see. That is an English expression that means I have not seen you for a long time, but it's a nice way to say hi when it's someone you already know, but you just haven't seen for a little while. How's it going? You heard me say that when people were coming into the room. I like to say that, and it's a common way to say hello. You can read the rest of these, and you might find that some of them don't really work in your situation. For example, how are the kids? All of you guys are too young to have children, so you wouldn't say that. But you might say that if you were talking to an adult, maybe, or when you get older, you would use that. How is work? Of course, you guys are not working, you are in school, so you could say, how is school? So take a few minutes, read those, and then you'll get a couple of ideas for chit chat. Okay, now that you've had a chance to read them all, I'm going to ask you to go back with your partner and use some of those ideas from that list of chit chat to start another conversation with your partner. Now, it could be about anything that you want. It doesn't have to be about weather, but it could be. But on the back of that page, you'll see that I've listed some things that are good to talk about. Keeping busy, hobbies, school or work, sports, holidays. Other good things to talk about are pets. Oh, I didn't know you had a pet. Food, current events, and celebrities. There's some short list of what not to talk about. You should not talk about politics. That's about the government, who you voted for, some of those types of things. You should not talk about finances. Anyone know what finances are? Yes, Marcus. That's right. It has to do with money. Don't talk about how much someone earns, how much money they have. You should not talk about personal problems. For example, if my parents were getting a divorce, it would be not polite if someone asked me, hey, how is it going with your parents' divorce? I would not want to talk about that. It's personal. So don't talk about those types of things, but now I'm going to ask you to get in with your partner again and spend a few more minutes doing a chit chat using some of those ideas to start the conversation. Go ahead. Okay, that was really good. Now, put your hand up if you learned something about your partner that you didn't know already. Yes, Riley. Riley, you learned that Abby plays the piano. Pretty neat. And Abby, did you know that Riley also plays an instrument? You did. Okay, I already knew that, but Riley plays the violin. So it's really neat that you both play music and you didn't even know that. And so that's how it goes. You can have a chit chat about something and really find that it leads to a good conversation. I'm glad that you found that was useful. I sure found it was fun to listen to you and hear what some of you were talking about. Okay, we're going to go on to the next exercise. This is called a meet and greet. This is where you introduce yourself to someone that you don't know. What does introduce mean? Anyone? Cece? Marcus? That's right. It's when you tell the other person who you are. You say, hi, my name is Bruce. I am a teacher for ESL. You could say something about yourself when you are introducing yourself to the person. What are some of the important things that we do when we introduce ourselves? We should be thinking about our eyes, looking at their eyes, eye contact. For example, right now, Javan is looking right at me. And so I feel like I can talk to him. Where if Caden is not looking at me, I probably wouldn't go over to talk to him. Okay, so when you're going to talk to someone, look them in the eye and make sure that they see that you're coming. That's a polite way to do it so that you don't startle them. They see that you're coming and they're ready to talk to you. Another one is your face. If you smile, then you look friendly and people will want to talk to you if you're friendly. If you come up to them like this, then they probably won't want to talk to you. The other one is your voice. Try to use a happy voice. when you're talking, a friendly voice. Okay, so what we're going to do is ask everyone to stand up. Good, you can push your chairs in. And now I'm going to ask you to find someone who is not your partner, who you can go and introduce yourself to, and then have a few minutes to chit-chat. I'm going to tell you that if you wanted to bring your paper and use those topics for chit-chat, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, go ahead and try it. Okay, all right, it's been 2 minutes. I'm going to ask everyone to find a new person to introduce themselves to, okay? Take another 2 minutes and introduce yourself to someone else. Go ahead. Good, it's been another 2 minutes. We'll do this one last time. Find one more person to introduce yourself to, and then you can chit-chat for 2 more minutes. Good. I'm going to ask everyone to go back to their seats now, please. Thank you. That was really interesting to hear some of you talk about yourselves. I'm going to ask a couple of people to explain how they introduce themselves. How about Caden? That's good. Hi, my name is Caden. I'm a student in ESL. Good. Ginny. Hi, my name is Ginny and I play the violin. That's really good. Right away, you're telling something about yourself. Harris? Good. You said, how's it going? Hi, my name is Harris. How's it going? That's a friendly way to say hello to someone. And probably that would make you a lot of friends in Canada if you do start that way. Let me ask you some questions. When you were going to someone, did you look them in the eyes? Did you find that that helps? Good. Let me ask some of the boys. We have more boys than girls in this class, and so for any of the boys, can you put your hand up? Is this the first time you talked with some of the girls? Yes. And did it seem a little bit unusual? Was it difficult to talk to the girls? No? Okay. Well, I thought maybe it might be because I could see that some of the guys are a little bit shy, but that's good. If you didn't think it was. Girls, did you find that all the boys were nice? They were polite? Oh, some of them didn't know what to say. Well, that is because this takes practice, I think. But I'm glad we started to practice. Now, for homework, you will see that there are 4 questions at the back of your Appendix A about chit-chat. I'm going to ask you to do those 4 questions for homework, and then we will talk about any problems that people had, any other questions that people have about chit-chat. Good. Okay, well then we'll see you next class. Good job.